So I'm going to explain myself a little bit here about the video that I'm about ready to, or that you're about ready to see. I'm going to do it pretty quickly because there's quite a bit of shock in that video. I was rather surprised as to what it was. So I guess I'll start at the cutter bar. When I say I like simplicity, this is what I like. I like to see simple. There's nothing busy here. There's tine conditioners in here. If there weren't tine conditioners, there would be 2 rubber rolls, not 5 rolls. There's actually 5 rolls on that Massey Ferguson Heston, or Heston by Massey Ferguson. That's just unacceptable. I got a bearing there and a bearing down there. In order to replace the cutter bar like I had to do with this section right here, with this, with this John Deere, there's 7 bolts, and it slips sideways, and bada bing, bada boom, you got a new cutter bar in there, a new box, which is really simple. And with the Heston Massey Ferguson, you don't get that simplicity. So, as you can see, very simple. It's just a cutter bar. Everything's enclosed and driven from the far end over there. So, now, I'm going to move back to what I'm talking about as far as an area which could be a real big problem, and I'll explain to you, well, I'm going to explain to you right now. Things get hot in here, okay? Very hot. Now, if you look up there, there's 2 big beer can kind of looking things, and they're for the emissions. That's where the emissions are, the DEF goes into one of those things, and the other one is the regen, or the particulate filter, which I believe that's a particulate filter, and it does burn off of there every so often. Now, I won't really have to worry about that thing for about 6,000 hours, at least that's what they told me. And I don't have 6,000 hours on the case, so I'm pretty sure that the rest of the thing will be pretty well falling apart before I ever get to have to deal with a regen. But they've got them in the right spot. And I say they're in the right spots because heat rises. And heat rises, and it needs to be exhausted or vented out somewhere, which is where you're going to get here. Plus, you have these great big gaping holes here. You see nothing in here. I haven't washed this machine since I started this spring, and there it is, open, wide open, and those big beer cans are up top. It's self-explanatory as to, and the other thing is, look at the arms here. I mean, the suspension is within these 4 bushings on either side. This works very well. I was surprised. I was a little skeptical about it when I bought the machine. I thought, what the hell? There's no shock absorption there, but they do. They actually work very, very well. So everything here is very clean, very high. It's sealed off here so that nothing can get in here. If there was going to be hay and chaff and stuff, because everything comes out the bottom there, it would hit here, lay here, and stay here. It wouldn't go anywhere. It would stay here and build up on the engine, which it doesn't. Like I said before, everything that is hot is up high, heat rises, and it's forced through with that gigantic fan. Now, everything here is open, easy to get to. Now, you'll see in the video that I do with, that you're going to see at the end of this video, is very concerning to me, because you see that tin there? That is all enclosed, okay? You can't, all that heat and everything is isolated there. Maybe a small amount goes through there, but, that's just a small amount, and it's blowing back onto absolutely nothing. The New Holland will build with stuff in there. The battery is housed away from all that heat. This is the battery, okay? So, you've got to, what the heck? There it is. There's your battery. 1 battery. Don't need any more than 1 battery. It's there. And it is away from everything. Away from the heat. Away from all of the fun stuff. Let me lock that up. I should put a regular padlock on there. The cab is isolated. Obviously, here's my air cleaner. And it is a very large machine compared to what you're about to see. Again, hydraulic steering assist, where the other machine either has a shock absorber. The one that I just reviewed has a brake system, which works really fine. It's good. So what you'll see in that video later is kind of the same setup, but not really. My diesel fuel tank is here, okay, is way forward. It's up and underneath here over the front wheels where it should be, because if you know anything about self-propelled windrowers, once the ass sinks, the front is sure to follow. But this is where the hydraulic tank is. That catches on fire in here. It is steel. The fuel tank, it is plastic, but it is so far away from anything that can open that door and either go forward or come out the back, whereas the other machine that I reviewed today, there is no going forward, and you have to go through what would basically be an inferno. Everything is isolated to keep the heat where it belongs, is out those side vents. I mean, that's huge in there. And what you'll see in the other video, or the video with the other machine that I will never purchase, it is quite restrictive, and it is steel. All your access points here, this is your hydraulic oil right here. You can actually check the hydraulic oil from inside the you can check it from inside the cab. It's right there. So, you know, you can open this door. I said that the cab was really small. Well, I meant it. The cab in that thing is about 2/3 smaller than what I'm in right now. Plus this header on this thing is a heck of a lot wider. I think that was a 12 foot, whereas this is a 15, or that was a 13 foot maybe, and this is a 15. It's really quite large. Easy to go down the road. I felt really restricted when I sat in the seat on that one because the handle came over me. Well, I don't know. Tire size on that machine was another issue that I had. In the first place, why would you want to climb all the way up here to put fuel in a machine when you can fill it from the ground right there? But this has full-on tractor tires. These are 20.8 38s radials, whereas the other ones, you know, I think they were like a 21 L26 with a and they were really turf tires. So I really had a lot of dislikes about that thing. The axle was not even a quarter what this machine's axle is, and of course this machine is a lot heavier, built a lot heavier, easier to get up in and out of. The arms to lift it, cast. That's cast iron, cast steel. Really tough stuff. Greasing points are easy here. They're right here. They're right there. They're everywhere. Everything's hosed, and it's good to go. Now, I'm not saying that this other machine doesn't have its applications. It just scares the hell out of me in the type of business that I'm doing. Maybe if I was doing alfalfa or clover with no dusty conditions, it would work flawlessly and never have an issue with fire or anything. But from what I could see, if I was going to go into mulch hay with that thing, I'd have a leaf blower on it and blowing it out twice a day just to keep it from burning. So I know I'm an opinionated person, but I know what I'm looking at when I'm looking at it, and I can see the hazards and the problems. I've had a machine burn before due to loose hay and a short in a wire. There's no stopping something like that. You just can't stop it. So with that being said, watch this next video clip, and you tell me what you think the differences are. I know, coming from a John Deere, from a Case WD-2303 to the John Deere W235, this is way more advanced, way more well thought out than what I just am about to show you. And even over the Case windrower, that one is a pre-emissions deal. That's a tier 2 or a tier 3, tier 2, yeah, tier 2, that's what that one is. So that one doesn't have all the happy horse shit on it like this machine does, but this machine is not going to burn. If this machine burned, something blew up and shot fuel all over the place. But anyways, thanks for watching, and enjoy this next clip, or don't enjoy it. But I can tell you one thing, if I'm buying a new windrower, it's not going to be the machine you're about to see. Thanks for watching. Tape in. Okay, so everybody's telling me, hey, you got to check out the Shocking Massey Ferguson mower. And I'm like, well, not really, but okay. Well, this is kind of interesting. Oh, I've never seen that before, but that kind of sort of makes sense. They've got their spring is in the center with their shock absorbers like that. Weird. I've never seen it like that. I've never really been up too close to one of these. Neighbor had one. That's all metal. Oh, where's the motor? I only see a keg. This must be made for drinkers. Holy cow. Alright, so all joking aside, wow. You know, these things create an enormous, and when I say an enormous amount of heat, I say enormous amount of heat. And I got the batteries back here where all that heat, this thing, the radiators there, batteries are here. They're going to cook. Alternators there, that's going to cook. This wire here, these are going to cook. I wonder how often they burn one of these. This is the DEF, where they inject the DEF. Diesel exhaust fluid? No, that is a thermal coupling. Sorry, I was wrong. The diesel exhaust fluid comes in here someplace, maybe. I don't know. God darn, oh, right there. There's where your diesel exhaust fluid goes in. I can't believe that. That's crazy. That's crazy. I mean, I opened it up and I was rather shocked to see that, but okay. Wow. I'm afraid to see what's on this side. Well, there's the motor. You know, that's really kind of a small little motor, which, you know, I'm not going to object to, but this looks very similar to the John Deere. That should be a Funk if it's the same as the John Deere. Hydrostatic system's quite different, but boy, that's a lot of heat to put up and underneath there. Looks like a hydraulic fan system. Obviously it is. It's either hydraulic or electric. What is it? Oh, it's something. I don't know. It's hydrostatic, I think. Would almost have to be. Well, there's your air conditioner here. Wow, you know what? I don't like this thing. I don't like it because of all that. Oh, what do we got here? That thing's heavy, but it is metal. I don't like the tires on them. Header seems a bit narrow. This is okay. Similar to the Case New Holland. I like the poly bumper on it. And this, well, I'm damn near looking at the John Deere, to be quite honest with you. This modular, the only difference that I see is that this gearbox is a straight up and down. Instead of John Deere, you take the bolts out and then it just kind of slips to the side. So it's very similar to the John Deere when it comes to the gearbox design. What do we got? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yeah, this is narrow. What is this, like a 12-foot head, 13-foot head? That looks like it's a very aggressive conditioning system. There's 4 rollers up in there. I'm getting wet. That's a very busy conditioning system. I'm almost like, how the hell does that work? Kinda, sorta. My God, I don't like this. They just, you know, I'm into simplicity. I like simplistic stuff. This thing here, I know my neighbor has one of these, and that just kind of lifts the hay up into this crimping system. And then it goes, but that back there, what is there, a double crimp system? Is there 4 rolls back here? I'm almost going to have to get underneath there. Hold on a second. They're magnetic, which I do like. But I'm almost betting you it's a 4, yep. No. There's only 3. No, there's 4. 4 rollers conditioning system. Ain't that something? Well, I'm pretty sure that probably do really well. That's your pressure for them. So you can really put the pressure to it, I guess. Like I said, I'm into simplicity, so I don't know that I would enjoy working on that if it ever had a problem. Diesel fuel way up high, up above, a burning hot. Yeah, I don't like this at all. No room in here. Oh, not a very roomy cab. Rather narrow. I don't want to talk badly about it, but this is okay, I guess. Steering wheel. That's got to be only like a 12-foot header. I got my new cutter bar on the back of the truck there, but yeah, there's not even turn signals, but this might not be set up yet. I don't know. But I don't like the cab. I don't like it. There's 4 conditioning rolls. Now, entertain me here for a second. Not that I'm bitching about this complete thing. But this is your fuel, okay? So you got your fuel. It's up here. You spill that fuel. And don't tell me you're not going to spill the fuel, because you're going to spill the fuel. And your hydraulic tank is there. Your hydraulic reserve tank is there. And it's plastic. So you've got an exhaust pipe coming off of a turbo. Okay? Comes out of here and around. Now that gets bloody hot, and you got this little tin foil thing. But you're right next to a plastic oil tank. Wow. Well, I can tell you this right now. If it's up to me, if I had to buy one of these, I wouldn't. I'm sorry. I just wouldn't. It's not going to happen. The DEF tank, if they wanted to do something, they should put the fuel tank here and put the DEF tank up there and the hydraulic tank forward. So if anything melts, it's the urea, and then that'll put the fire out instead of heating up a oil tank and setting the whole thing on fire. That's just my opinion on it. And maybe my opinion is not good, but not good to some people, but it's good enough for me. I do like the brake system that they have here. That'll keep it from swiveling. I know New Holland needs to figure something out there. I'm pretty sure this is probably solid steel. If it's tubular, then it's not going to last. But yeah, the abuses that I put my machines through, I say abuses, my usage that I put my machines through, they hold up pretty good. I mean, I would prefer the Case WD-2303 over this, because the fuel tank is tucked underneath the cab away from the heat. The hydraulic oil tank is up against the cab away from the heat. The beer can, or that particulate filter, which in my opinion should be at the highest point, not the lowest point, because if anything spills on top of it, it's going to burn. And then you know what happens if it does burn? You got a fan blowing air this way, and you got to come through that door out past that fire, and I'm telling you, there's got to be some of these things burn. If they don't burn, I don't know what the hell to tell you, but man, I wouldn't buy it just for those simple reasons. The John Deere has there's a 2-can system on my John Deere, the particulate and that reburner or whatever system with the diesel exhaust fluid, and it's really up high and it's away from anything flammable. That is right within 6 inches of that plastic oil tank. Boy, I don't know. I'm glad that I don't own one. That's all I can say. I don't think I would buy one of these. I don't know. That's just me, and it's my opinion, but if you own one, go look at a Deere, or keep it extraordinarily clean. Don't go any more than a day without cleaning the damn thing, because it looks to me as if you get a hay fire in there, you're a dead man. You'd have to bust the window out on the other side to get out of it alive, if you're lucky. Oh well, just my opinion. Just take it for what it is. Very busy machine. It seemed like a lot of unnecessary stuff in the header too, with that double conditioner. I mean, yeah, you're gonna have fast dry down, but what happens if one of the rollers in the back breaks? I mean, you got twice as much trouble to happen in there. I don't know. Just not for me, I guess.